For vlog number 25, I thought I would do something pretty cool for you and talk to you about why follow through really matters. So here's what you need to know is most salespeople in your industry are lazy. Most salespeople really don't have the skills to be at work. They don't have the capability of doing their job. They just show up and throw up. They just show up and hope that they can close a deal on the spot, and then they never make up follow-up phone calls. And sometimes buyers will say, hey, I need more information. I need some more content from you. And the salesperson goes, yeah, I'll get to you. I'll make it happen. And they never do. And I could think of in the last 2 months, I had two big projects that I was working on, and I got ghosted. I got ghosted by both these salespeople, and they decided that it wasn't important enough for them because they're too busy. And then they called me back with some half-butt, as my dad would say, half-butt excuses like, hey, Scott, we're sorry things didn't work out. Now you're on my radar, and now everything's good. And we'll have, like, it wasn't even a heartfelt apology. It was kind of like, hey, could you please pass the salt? Or, hey, could you move out of my way? I'm watching the game, right? And I was sitting here going, I was appalled, right? And if you want to learn how to be a closer in sales and you want to be able to go further than anybody else, have good follow-up skill. So growing up, I played soccer, and I had this rough coach, and he played professional soccer in Mexico. And if you didn't follow the ball all the way to the net every time that ball was kicked, you had to run extra laps. And you know, for me, when I was in junior high, I was on the swim team and I played soccer. So I would go from an hour and a half of swimming to an hour and a half of running. And I can promise you, the last thing that I wanted to do was run extra laps because it hurt. It was a lot of work. But what I got from that was, like, from start to finish, you make sure that you use the follow-up process, you use things in the calendar, and you're out of excuses. You got to, apps like Google and Calendly, and some of them you pay for that'll help you follow this process. Some CRMs will do this for you. You are completely out of excuses to say, hey, I didn't follow up. I didn't do it. You want to outwork the competition, right? You got to do what you say you're going to do. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the energy. You got to put in the effort. Most salespeople are lazy. They're not going to do it. You got to execute, right? Execution is the name of the game. Execution means that you're going to get that person the proposal. You're going to get them the specs. You're going to get them the design by whatever timeline you promised. I was watching something pretty interesting. My friend Mike Morgan is a copywriter, and somebody asked a question. They said, hey, in your mind, what makes the difference between an A-list copywriter, somebody who's the best at what they do, maybe 20 of them in the world, right? And Mike Morgan said something pretty cool. He said, I, as a copywriter, have never been late. If somebody said that my project is due on this day, I'm always a couple days early, where I get it in right on time. And I started thinking about that a lot before I shot this video. And it's like, Mike Morgan was onto something. Like, if you make a promise, make sure you deliver on time. And then that way you can show that you're a pro and not a Joe. There you go. You got one thing to do from here, just one thing. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update that says Scott Bell Consultant sent out another fantastic video, probably from a cool location. You should check it out, which you should. We'll see you soon. Aloha.